learned senior advocates, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, at the outset, I thank the Bar Council of Andhra Pradesh for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts and information which I come to know as an advocate, as a judge of the trial court, and judge of the High Court of Andhra Pradesh for the last 40 years, almost. I joined in law in 1984 as a student of law. Now 2024, 40 years journey in this field. I have seen a lot of changes in the profession over the years. We all know that success of the legal fraternity in the profession would depend upon our dedication, determination, and discipline and commitment. Those who acquire skills of the day will survive in the system. Others will extinct in the evolution. We all know dinosaurs. One time, the biggest animal on the earth became extinct over a period of time, as it could not change its living style to the change of the system. Likewise, in our profession also, if you cannot change yourself to the changing times, you may not live in the profession tomorrow. I always say that many members in the legal fraternity will believe in 3C to survive in the profession. One is by convincing the court. He will survive all through in the life. Other two, confusing the court, may be successful for some time. And the third and most dangerous thing, confronting with the court. They may not survive for longer time in the profession. You can't survive in the profession confronting with the court or confusing the court. You will survive in the profession only by convincing the court. Am I right? To convince the court with your skills, you must update yourself to the latest developments in law, as well as you must update yourself with the experience with men and matters in the life. Not only with the law, you must also update yourself with your daily experience with men and matters in the life. After all, law is a common sense. Today, with the short introduction, I'll try to share the little information which I acquired in various capacities over the period of time on the latest burning and the future of the day, electronic evidence. I request all the members of the legal fraternity to update yourself with the nuances of the electronic evidence and technology. You know, the latest laws, IPC, Criminal Procedure Code, and the Evidence Act have been repealed, and the new laws are coming into force from 1st July, very shortly, which involves a lot of provisions dealing with technology. How many of you read section 540 of the Criminal Procedure Code? I mean to say, Nagarik, BNSS, Bharatiya Nagarik. What it says, section 540, 530, trial and proceedings to be held in electronic mode. All trials, inquiries, and proceedings under this Sanihita, including issuance, service, and execution of summons and warrant, examination of complaint and witnesses, recording of evidence in inquiries and trials, and all appellate proceedings or any other proceeding be held in electronic mode by use of electronic communication or use of audio-video electronic means. So practically, section 530 is taking us to the electronic yuga in criminal jurisprudence, criminal legal system. This section emphasizes the importance of the legal fraternity to update to the technology. In coming days, if you do not update yourself, you will definitely extinct one day or other. You cannot compete with your colleagues in the profession. Okay, then coming to electronic evidence, which provision the word electronic evidence? I always ask this question. Which provision in a statute, whether the Evidence Act coined the word electronic evidence? What 65B says? Present Act. What is the relevant provision in the present Act? By this time, you must update yourself. Section 61, electronic or digital record. It speaks only about record, not about evidence. Am I right? 62, special provisions as to evidence relating to electronic record. Admissibility of electronic records. 63, BSA, the Bharatiya Shiksha Adhinayam. Am I right? Section 79A of the Information Technology Act. Examiner of electronic evidence. You will find the word electronic evidence under section 79A of Information Technology Act 2000. Chapter 12A, Examiner of electronic evidence. The government may, for the purposes of providing expert opinion on electronic form evidence before any court or other authority, specify by notification in the official gazette any department, body or agency of the central government or state government as an examiner of electronic evidence. The word electronic evidence you will find here. Explanation defines what is electronic evidence. For the purposes of this section, electronic form evidence means it is giving the meaning of the electronic form evidence. What is it? Any information of probative value that is either stored or transmitted in electronic form and includes computer evidence, digital audio, digital video, cell phones, digital fax machines. This is where you will find the meaning of electronic form evidence. Evidence Act is not defining electronic evidence. Am I right? We'll come to it, sir. We'll come to, don't worry, sir. I'll be here for 1 hour. Then, did you try to find out the difference between the Indian Evidence Act and Bharatiya Sakshi Adhinayam? with regard to this electronic record, oblique electronic evidence. How many of you made efforts to find out or to compare the relevant provisions which deals with electronic evidence and its admissibility rules laid under the Indian Evidence Act and Bharatiya Sakshi Adhinayam, which is coming into force from 1st July. I'll just read the old act. This is the way you have to read. First, section 3, document. Did you find any word electronic record in the definition of document in the old act? Document means any matter expressed or described upon any substance by means of letters, figures, marks, or by more than one of the means intended to be used, which may be used for the purpose of recording the matter. That's all. The old act, the definition of document is not touching the word electronic record. Then come to the new act. Section 2, clause D. Document means any matter expressed or described or otherwise recorded upon any substance by means of letters, figures, or marks, any other means, or by more than one of these means intended to be used or which may be used for the purpose of recording that matter and includes electronic and digital records. Am I right? First time, the word definition of document, you will find inclusion of electronic and digital records. Did you notice this difference? It is a drastic change. And in the old act, where the electronic record was included, in the old act, evidence, section 3, means and includes, clause 2, all documents including electronic record. All documents including electronic record produced for the inspection of the court. Such documents are called documentary evidence. In the old act, evidence definition only includes electronic record as document. Now, what is the new act? Section 2. Evidence means and includes statements given electronically. You make a note of it. The word all statements including statements given electronically, also part of the evidence. You underline it. Which the court permits or requires to be made before it by witnesses in relation to matter of fact under inquiry, and such statements are called oral evidence. So now oral evidence includes statements given electronically. Am I right? So electronic evidence is also now oral evidence. Am I right? Sometimes oral evidence also is an electronic evidence when statements are recorded electronically. Then coming to documents. All documents including electronic or digital records. I am stressing here, electronic or digital records. Earlier, the word used only electronic. Please listen carefully. Earlier, the word document includes electronic only. Now, another word is included. What is that? Digital record. There you are. Now, you will have a doubt. Why? Why the word digital record has been included? apart from electronic. అందరికీ డౌట్ రావాలండి. My question is, did you notice earlier any judgment or any argument raised before any constitutional court, Supreme Court or High Court, that electronic records and digital records are different categories? They are not one and same. Section 65B does not apply to digital records. I produced only a digital record. It is not an electronic record. Therefore, Section 65B is not applicable to me. Did you hear such argument or any judgment in that direction? To my knowledge and to my best of efforts, I could not come across any such judgment or argument advanced before the Constitutional Court. Am I right? P.V. Anwar, no such argument, no such discussion. Arjun Pandit Rao, no such argument, no such finding. Am I right? Then why? Why the Parliament included the word digital also? To create more confusion? Already 65B is, there is a lot of confusion. Now, do we want to create more confusion? More complicity? More complex things? You must pose questions like this to yourself. To become a top-class advocate, you must have these type of questions. Then what is the difference between electronic record and digital record? I invite answers. Electronic record is basically, what does it mean? IT Act defines. Am I right? IT Act defines what is an electronic record, not the Evidence Act. What is that? I'll just read the definition for the benefit of myself. Section 2, subclass T, T for T. Electronic record means data, record or data generated, image or sound, stored, received or sent in an electronic form or microfilm or computer generated microfiche. Data, record, data generated, image, sound, stored or received or sent in electronic form is electronic record. And anything sent in electronic form is electronic record. Am I right? Do you find definition of digital record in Information Technology Act? Whether Information Technology Act was simultaneously amended. Unfortunately, it was not amended, defining what is digital record. Technically speaking, electronic record, every electronic record is of two types. Analog records and digital records. Analog records, where information is stored or received on analog formats. Digital record is where information is stored in digital format. Digital format means in computer language. Do you know what is computer language? Binary language means 0 and 1. Anything stored electronically in digital format will always be stored in binary format. Means 0 and 1. Machine language, we generally call it as. It will be stored in machine language. Machine can only read it and convert it into human readable format. That is known as digital record. Whereas analog records, certain electronic records are stored in analog format. You know, old tape recorders. Old tape recorders. Do you know? Magnetic tapes. It is also an electronic record. It is not a digital record. It is only an electronic record in analog format. Likewise, gramophones. In good olden days, we were seeing those gramophones where graphite plates. Data is stored in analog format. It is an electronic record. But data is stored in analog format. And tapes, video tapes, old video tapes, VHS tapes. Data, video signals are stored in VHS format, analog format. It is known as analog electronic record, digital electronic record. So, by all means, I can say that all digital records are electronic records. Make a note of it. All digital records are electronic records, but not vice versa. All electronic records are not. Digital records are now. Nowadays, photos, as you said, sir. Digital photos, PDF documents, original computer-generated documents, Word documents, sound, MP3 sound. These are all known as digital records. Examples of digital records. So, all digital records are electronic records. Whereas all electronic records are not digital records. Then, I think now I made clear myself the change in the new act with reference to meaning of electronic record. Am I right? Old law only speaks about electronic record. Electronic record means a genus word. In science, we call genus and species. Genus is the main and species is the child. Just like parent and child. Electronic record is a parent, digital record is a child. Now, we came to know the difference between electronic record and digital record. Then, admissibility. Earlier, special rules of evidence, 65A, 65B. I am not dwelling into judgments because the time is short. Famous judgment, P.V. Anwar and Arjun Pandit Rao. I request members of the legal fraternity, all members, particularly the junior members, to read these two judgments, P.V. Anwar and Arjun Rao Pandit. You will understand the scope of Section 65A and Section 65B and admissibility. It is only a mode of proof. I always say, certificate is only just a mode of proof. It itself does not prove the contents, truth of the contents. Probative value is different. Mode of proof is different. By giving certificate, you are just making the document admissible into evidence. That's all. You are not proving the contents as true. Am I right? It is only admissibility, just a gate to receive the document as a piece of evidence. Now, what are the changes with reference to 65A and 65B in the new Act? Am I right? What is the Section 61? A new section. It is a new section. Make a note of it. Section 61 of the Bharatiya Sakshya Adhinayam 2023 is a new section. Earlier, this was not there. Electronic or digital record, nothing in this Adhinayam shall apply to deny the admissibility of an electronic or digital record in the evidence on the ground that it is an electronic or digital record. And such record shall, subject to Section 63, have same legal effect, validity and enforceability as other document. They are making it more clear. Earlier there were some doubts. Now they want to clear all the doubts that electronic record is as good as any other document, provided Section 63 is complied with. Am I right? Authoritatively, they are saying that electronic record is equal and as good as a physical document, provided Section 63 is complied with. Admissibility of electronic records. I am not going into the minute differences because due to paucity of time. Now, earlier there was no form, certificate form. Am I right? Earlier, law does not prescribe the format, rather form of certificate to be provided under Section 65B. Just contents were given, but it does not provide any form. Am I right? Everybody is following their own format. Somebody is giving it in the form of an affidavit. Somebody is giving it in the form of a letter. Somebody is giving it in the form of a certificate in his own style, complying the conditions as laid down under Section 65B(4). Now, the main change in the new Act is schedules were incorporated. Am I right? Have you noticed the schedules? I am not feeling encouraged, sir. Nobody is answering. Nobody is responding. There are two parts in schedule, Part A, Part B. Part A is with regard to individual, party. Am I right? And Part B by an expert. Part B certificate shall be given if an expert gives an opinion. 45A of the old Act. Examiner of electronic records. Now, equivalent provision is 39(2). Now, 39 Clause 2. Section 39 Clause 2 is equivalent to Section 45A of the old Act. Examiner of electronic records, expert. Same provision is now converted to Section 39 subclause 2. Same provision. It says that examiner of electronic records referred to in Section 79A of the IT Act 2000. I'll come to that question later. Now, certificate. Have you gone through that certificate? You are the beacon lamp of your clients. You have to guide your clients as to how to give the certificate when they produce electronic record before you. Therefore, you must aware about the contents of the certificate. Am I right? The most important thing, part of the certificate is one condition. Make, model, color, IME number, okay, these are all fine. But one complicated thing is included in the certificate. All of you must know the technology of that complicated issue. From 1st July onwards, if you doesn't know, how do you suggest and how to provide that? What is that? I state that hash value, yes, of the electronic digital record is dash obtained through the following algorithm: SHA-1, SHA-256, MD5, other. This is, how many of you know, can advise your client on this aspect? My simple question is, how many of you are in a position to advise your client to fill up this part? Encryption, but how to do it and what is this? How many of you know this technology behind this part? What is hash? Electronic evidence is becoming more commonplace in civil and criminal cases. Hash value is used as an important tool in examining, discovering, and authenticating electronic evidence. This main function is to authenticate an electronic record. It would be pertinent to say that it is only the significant Dominion factor which play a crucial role and widely accepted means of authenticating electronic evidence, which is also legally admissible in the court of law throughout the world. This is more important. It is legally accepted throughout the world. Now my question is, which statute in India deals with hash value and its acceptance? How many of you know? What is the provision? IT Act means Information Technology Act, sir, obviously, or Income Tax Act. But it doesn't mean you must equip yourself by this day. This is the preparation you require to become an advocate who can convince the court. If you appear in my court, how do you convince me? If I ask you what is hash, other side takes an objection that, sir, this is not in accordance with certificate provided under the law. Am I right? He reads that certificate prescribed in the act. I ask you, sir, what is hash? How it is recognized by law? Evidence Act says hash, but where the law recognizes it? In general form, if you ask me what is hash, every electronic record will have a value. Just like fingerprint for a human being. No two fingerprints will never match. That is an established science. Am I right? Likewise, an electronic record, when generated, will also simultaneously generate an electronic number which will not match with another number of other record. It is known as hash, just like fingerprint. I must say fingerprint of the document. Hash value is as good as a fingerprint of a document. This will be generated by using certain technologies. Such technologies are MD5, Message Digest, MD5 technology. It was recognized all over the world as a secured technology. That a code, computer code or computer software used to generate numerical value of the electronic record. One type of software, MD5, Message Digest 5. Then another form, different softwares will be there. Another form recognized across the globe is SHA, Secured Hash. Do you ever come across the word hash pollution? Hash pollution. Hash pollution means this is the problem for hash value. Once in a million times, there may be chance of two values matching. Very rare phenomenon. That is known as hash pollution. Sometimes, very rare, two numbers may match. Means two fingerprints of two persons may match. Hash pollution. It was noticed in MD5 hash value once somewhere across the globe. They felt that MD5 may not be a safe one sometimes. So they developed another thing, SHA, 256-bit encryption, very secured encryption. SHA 256, a secure hash software which will generate a number. So MD5 SHA, Message Digest, Secure Hash. The Indian rules, Rule 6 of the Information Technology Certifying Authorities Rules 2000, recognize the MD5 and SHA2 as the accepted standard digital hash function. I asked this question, where you will find. And Section 3 of the IT Act. You must be in a position to support your argument, sir. Section 3 of the Information Technology Act deals with asymmetric crypto system, which is known as otherwise as hash. And Rule 6 recognize the MD5 and SHA2 256 as the standard digital hash function in India. So when you give a certificate, now you must ask your client to provide hash value also, MD5 or SHA 256 value in the certificate. How to generate hash values requires a little computer and technology knowledge. It is not a mere legal knowledge. Generation of hash value is a technical aspect. If you ask me to show hash value, I will try to demonstrate it, because I was trained technically also by the Honorable Apex Court when I was working as the judge of the trial courts at National Judicial Academy as well as National Police Academy many a times, not only on legal side and technical side. TEST test on the desktop of my computer, one Word document generated by me for testing purpose. Now I am trying to generate the hash value. Did you notice one number, sir? Top number 21A. Last number is A21A. Have you noticed it? Last number 1A, 21A, some numerical number. When I asked the system to generate hash number, it generated the long numerical number ending with 21 small a. This is known as hash number. You can see test1 document on the right side. I generated hash value for that document. The importance is, if I change, why I am stressing on this is, you must all aware, I generated this hash value. If I change even a comma or full stop subsequently, not even some text, just full stop, even by mistake, hash value will change. If any modification, alteration, tampering was made, automatically hash value will change. So to create authenticity to an electronic record, hash system was adopted in India also. And that hash system was brought into the certificate now. Now we have to authenticate the electronic record produced before the court by mentioning the hash value in the certificate from 1st July onwards. Okay, fine, sir. Because already 11:37, I'll close with just one thing. Problem, why and what is the problem with electronic records? Vulnerability of tampering is the problem with electronic records. That is why section 65B, now 63A, only to prevent tampering, to make modifications, 65B has been introduced and hash value has been introduced. Fake electronic records is the most problem for the electronic records. For example, phone is TS Royal garu, సార్ ఈరోజు ఉదయం మీరు ఇలా రండి. I request you, just before concluding my session for the day, I just సార్ మీ నెంబర్ ఈరోజే కదా నేను యాడ్ చేశాను వాట్సాప్లో. ఇంతవరకు మీ నెంబర్ లేదు నా దగ్గర. మీరు నాతో వాట్సాప్లో మాట్లాడారా? ఇది చదవండి. ఈరోజు మార్నింగ్ మీరు నాతో మాట్లాడారు వాట్సాప్లో. ఏముంది చదవండి. ఇది వాట్సాప్ సార్. మార్నింగ్ ఈ నెంబర్ని నోట్ చేసుకున్నా. మార్నింగ్ వల్లే వాట్సాప్లో అయినా కనెక్ట్ అయ్యారు నాకు, కానీ మీ ఇద్దరే మాట్లాడుకోవాలి. ఐ హ్యావ్ క్రియేటెడ్ ఏ వాట్సాప్ రికార్డ్. నేను ఇది తీసుకుంటా ప్రింట్అవుట్ 63 సర్టిఫైట్ ఇస్తా. ఇంకా టైం ఉంటే ఐ వుడ్ హ్యావ్ డిస్కస్ విత్ ఫోరెన్సిక్స్, సైబర్ ఫోరెన్సిక్స్ మీన్స్ ఇట్స్ నాట్ ది క్వశ్చన్ ఆఫ్ లా ఒకటే కాదు. ఐఎమ్ ఆల్వేస్ advocates that law is only one part, but advocates must know the other side of the cyber forensics means ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఫేక్ అని ఉంది కదా, ఇది ఏ విధంగా ఫేక్, సోషల్ మీడియా మెసేజ్ని ఫేక్ అని ఎలా తెలుసుకోవాలి, ఈమెయిల్స్ ఫేక్ అని ఎలా తెలుసుకోవాలి, సిడిఆర్స్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఎలా రీడ్ చేయాలి, సీసీటీవీలు ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఎలా రీడ్ చేయాలి, అవి ఫేకా జెన్యూన్ అన్నది మనం ప్రైమఫేసీగా మన ఎండ్లో మనం ఎలా తెలుసుకోగలుగుతాం. ఆఫ్ కోర్స్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్ ఒపీనియన్ ఇస్ డిఫరెంట్ థింగ్, బట్ అట్లీస్ట్ ప్రైమఫేసీగా మనం ఎలాగా అనేది దిస్ ఇస్ ఎ డిఫరెంట్ వరల్డ్. నెక్స్ట్ టైం అవకాశం వచ్చినప్పుడు ఆ వరల్డ్ గురించి మాట్లాడుకుందాం సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఆల్.